Hi there, my name's Vince from mymatevince.com, and today is a great day because today is the day that I've got the U-Force working on the Nintendo Switch. So a lot of you might recognise this from years ago. It was a controller for the NES system, the Nintendo Entertainment System. If you look closely, you can see there it says copyright 1989. So this thing is getting on a bit, but believe it or not, it actually works, and it works pretty well. Basically, this is a controller that you don't physically hold. You just wave your hands over certain sensors and it corresponds to button movements. Now, it's an NES, so these are our button movements. We've got a D-pad, up, down, left and right. We have A, B, and we have start and select. So let me show you the inside of this bad boy. Now, if we open it up, there's two ways of playing it. You can play it in this configuration here, where you would be normally using the bottom sensors and waving your hands up here to get to the top sensors, or you can open it up fully like that, and then you can play it in a flat configuration, and normally you would be using the edge buttons here. So let me just give you a closer look. Okay, so here we have it in all its glory. And basically these are each of the sensors here. So these are little infrared sensors, and when you hover your hand about 4 to 6 inches above that, they will correspond to a movement. Now, you have to do the selection switches for different games. Now obviously I'm doing this for the Nintendo Switch, which it wasn't designed for, so this is the configuration where I've got it working best, and I will show you the button movements in a moment. But the idea is, certain games you might have that configuration, then the next game you might have it in a vertical configuration. You'd have to change the selection switches. When you change those switches, it changes the buttons round on the screen, because we have quite a few buttons here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've also got one at the top and one at the bottom there. So that's 10 buttons. And remember, on the NES controller, we don't have that many buttons because we've got 4 in the D-pad and 2 here, which is just 6 buttons. And then we've also got these 2 buttons here for start and select. One thing we are missing is a home button. So when you hit the wrong button and you end up going onto the wrong thing, like here on screen, you will have to have one of your Joy-Cons handy just to be able to get back home again. And you can see there, that's player 2. So you've got to be really careful with this, because every time you lean over it, it does something. Now, how do I get this to work? I got it to work via adapters. So I've got a main flash adapter here, which is an NES to USB adapter, also SNES to USB adapter. And that goes into a Cronus Max. The Cronus Max goes into a Brook converter, which is the PS4 to Wii U Brook converter. This communicates with the Nintendo Switch over there via Bluetooth. So I haven't got any cables between the U-Force and the Switch. All my cables are between the U-Force and these adapters down here. You can plug this into the Switch dock if you want, but if you want a cleaner look, or you want to tuck these away in the corner, then all you need is a power supply. I've just used a little tablet USB charger here, and I've just got a little USB extension cable here. You can plug this straight into here. It just takes the pressure off when you have an extension lead, because then all this weight can just be rested on the floor rather than on the USB port. And believe it or not, it works pretty well. So let me show you that working. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to work my way down to the test input on the controller, so I can show you the buttons. So when I do the sensor up here, it's down. When I do the sensor here, it's up. So let me just work my way down. System settings, A. Let me go all the way down. Go up a bit. Controller sensors, move my way over. Go down again. Test input devices, test controller buttons. Now check this out. Top one here is down, bottom one is up. Then I've got left, right, and I've got B and A, and then I've got 2 buttons here, start and select, which actually correspond to left and right. So left, right, A, B, right, left, down and up. So they're the buttons that I've got to play with in this particular setup. If you were then to change the switches, you would have different buttons on a different layout. And as far as the responsiveness goes, obviously this is going to be really hard. This is just going to be for a bit of fun. You're not actually going to do this for any serious type of gaming, purely for fun. But if you have a look, it's actually quite responsive. So watch this now. Can you see it moving on screen there when I put my hands like that? So you get the idea. Yeah, and it's quite quick. Right, so let's go back. Let's hold down B for a bit, and let's do a bit of Mario Kart. Now, if you want to see a true professional at work, look up a YouTuber. The channel is called Wilkin, W-I-L-K-I-N, and that guy is a master when it comes to this. You can see his videos and his hands are just flashing all over. He's doing all different things, completing all different levels on different games, so check him out. Right, here we go, Mario Kart. Now, I've had very little practice on this because I only set it up yesterday. Right, so here we go now. Now the hardest bit is having to do the drift round the corners and the power-ups. Right, I'll try a drift around the corner in a minute. Let me just get a bit more into it. Now, also it's hard because you have to keep taking your hand away to get it to centre again, because every time I leave my hand there it keeps turning. Right, let me try a drift up here now. No, not enough speed, hold on. Right, I'll try a drift. There we go. It's quite a good drift. And then if you need to brake and reverse, you can do that by just hovering over B. So there you go. Now I'm going backwards, forwards, and it is actually pretty responsive. So, what do you reckon? What do you think of it? I think it's pretty cool. Kind of pointless, but you know, considering the technology now is approaching 30 years old, I think it is pretty good, and I think maybe this game was just a little bit more, I think this controller was just maybe a little bit more misunderstood, and if people spent more time with it, then maybe it would have been better. So you know what I'm thinking now? I'm thinking Power Glove. They're expensive. It's £150, and over here I've got PAL, and the ones I can find are only NTSC, and I'm wondering whether I should try and get the Power Glove working, because in theory, if this is working, then the Power Glove should work as well. Let me know what you reckon. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and please subscribe for more how-to videos. Take care, bye now.